Hi everyone, it's Mariah. Hope you're having a great day. So, I want to keep going on this idea of goal setting. So, one of the things that comes up in goal setting a lot is that people use negative words like, I don't want to be so stressed this year, or I really want to have a relationship with a man who's not unemployed, or I really don't want to get into a relationship with a woman who's only after me for my money, or I don't want to stay in the same position career-wise this year as I was at the beginning of the year, right? So they're all what these people don't want. And so let's take a minute to look at this. So the way the brain works is that we don't hear the word don't. We don't hear the word not. So think about like with a small child. If you tell the small child, don't touch the hot burner, what's the first thing that they're going to do? They're going to reach their hand out and they're going to touch the hot burner. Or if you tell the kid, we're not going to have cookies for dinner, all they're going to think about, all they're going to want is having cookies for dinner. So this translates to goal setting because we hear, oh, well, I don't want a man who's unemployed. I want a man who's unemployed. That's all we hear. Or I don't want to work for minimum wage. Oh, all that shows up is minimum wage jobs, right? Whatever it is. And it's also because when we say what we don't want, we're not actually able to visualize what it is that we do want. And if we can't see what we want, it's going to be a lot harder to get from here to there. It's going to be harder to achieve that goal. And so it can be very powerful to take the time to write down what you don't want and help that find out what you do want. So for instance, in the examples I've done before, so maybe you hate your job, for instance. So grab a piece of paper and on the left side of the piece of paper, write down all the things you don't like about your job. You don't like that your manager's not supportive. You don't like that you don't make enough money, right? You don't like that you're working the night shift. Or we can talk about this in relationships, you don't want somebody who's unemployed. You don't want somebody who's just after you for your money. You don't want someone who's shitty in bed. You don't want, somebody with bad communication skills. You don't want somebody with a lot of baggage. Whatever it is, right? So take a minute, think about what your goal is, whatever it is that you want, and go ahead and write down, both what you do want and what you don't want. And I'm going to keep talking, so if you need some quiet time to write down this list, which I recommend, please pause the video, and then once you get that list written down, keep watching the video, because I'm going to work with you with that list. So now you've taken the time, and you've written down what it is that you do want in terms of this goal, and what you don't want in terms of this goal. And so now let's take what you don't want and transform that into something you do want. I don't want to be so busy. Okay. I want to be more balanced. I don't want to fail English. I want to pass my English class with a B or higher. I don't want somebody who's unemployed. I want to date someone who has a job and a career that they love. I don't want to work for minimum wage. I want to get a job that pays at least $15 or $20 an hour, whatever your income goal is, So take every one of these things, flip it into the positive. And again, if you need to pause the video while you do that, go ahead. I find it's helpful to draw arrows between what you don't want and the inverse, what you do want. And now you can have a new list of, this is what I do want. And now when you sit through what you do want, you can sit and you can actually visualize that. You can see, I want to be in a relationship with somebody with good communication skills. I want to be in a relationship with someone who has dealt with or is dealing with the trauma that they've experienced in their life. I want to be in a relationship with somebody who loves me for me, not for my money, right? Whatever it is that you want. And now you can actually see your goal. This is an accomplishable thing. When you say, I don't want somebody who's unemployed, well, then you can't see. I mean, obviously the assumption is that employed is the inverse of unemployed, but maybe you want actually something more than just not unemployed. Maybe you want somebody who has a career, or, whatever it is that you want. And I'm not here to judge what you do or don't want, but if we can take what we want and as we're goal setting, actually say it positively as this is what I want, then we can achieve having that because we can see it and it makes sense to us. And then we can actually visualize it. You can sit there and you can do a meditation. This is one of the things I will often recommend to people is like, how can you have a meditation and actually visualize, see what it is that you want coming true? You can feel, see, touch, taste, smell those things rather than just having them be an esoteric concept. And so by putting the verbiage of our goals positively, then we can actually see them and we can achieve them because they're a lot more succinct and clear. So play around with this for your goals with 2018, and I'll keep making videos on how to continue to make better goals and then how do we stick with them, right? Because setting the goal is only part of the battle. Next, it's how do you have the consistency and the routine to make that goal a reality. So thanks and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.